Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're actually going to be talking about how I restored my boots. I have some Red Wing 1907's. There's definitely some scuffs, some scratches and scuffs on it, and they've definitely seen better days. It's nothing that can't be fixed. So I wanted to make this video just to kind of show you what steps I took and to show my experience with these Red Wing products I used to clean them and if they worked or not. And hopefully this will help you have an idea of what to do. Now, of course, this is just something that worked for me. There's definitely many other ways to do this. And if you have other ways of how you clean your boots, you can definitely leave that in the comment section below. Also, you always want to make sure that the products you're using to clean or oil up your boots is a product that works with that particular type of material, so you don't end up messing up your boots in any way, shape, or form. And to start off, here's what I'm using. So I'm using a leather cleaner here, and of course you can use water and soap or something different than this, but I just thought I'd use all Red Wing products for this. It was about $6, so why not? The other thing that you want to keep in mind is when you do wash them, they might actually even look worse than they did originally before you started washing them. And that's just pretty common just because you're washing off all the bad stuff, even the good. The other thing I would say is that the toothpaste situation, I didn't really feel like it did an amazing job. I feel like it would have been just as good with some soap and water. Now you want to make sure that the boots are dry before you actually apply the conditioner on it. Normally the recommendation is to just leave them overnight just to be on the safe side. For whatever reason, I lost the footage of the first coat I did when I used the boot paste, and I just scooped it up with a cloth and just applied it all over, and I just wiped off some of the excess, but I basically wanted to make sure that the leather had a chance to absorb as much of the product as possible. And then in the next couple days I applied a second coat, but because the boot paste does darken leather, I didn't want to use that twice. And that's why I purchased a new product that Red Wing came out with, which is the leather cream. Now the reason it's a big deal is because it does not darken the leather when you apply it. Most products out there will darken your leather, and for some people that's a pretty big deal. So the first coat did darken the leather, and it looked a lot darker when I first applied it, to the point where I wasn't sure if I was going to be happy with the results. But once it really dried, it actually wasn't bad, but I didn't want to go ahead and put a second coat on it just because I didn't want to risk the leather being even darker. I did use the leather cream as a second coat, and you could really see some of the spots where the leather really absorbed the product. The second coat is going to be good if you've never done this to your boot, because your boot's going to absorb the product differently in different areas. Now, before I applied the second coat, I made sure to brush off any dust or excess product that was remaining from the first coat. This allowed me to really see where it needed more product. Now, I did want to clear up that I didn't just wear these right after applying the product. I did let them rest. And also, keep in mind that these are boots. They're not going to look brand new after you do this. They're not going to look pretty. They're meant to have some character and to still have some wear, and that's the whole point of these boots. So keep that in mind. So my overall thoughts about the products I use, I don't really think they're necessities to clean your boots. For example, the leather cleaner, you could use just water and a brush. Now the boot paste itself, it does darken the leather, but if you don't really mind that, I feel like that's a great product to have. But if you really want to avoid that, then you can skip that step and just go straight to using the leather cream. It really doesn't darken the boot, and it's supposed to condition your boot as well. As you can see, there was a big difference from when I first started to how they look right now. Depending on your use, you might only need to do this process a couple times a year. If you're using for work and such, then you might need to do this more. So even if you use your boots for work, this will allow for your boot to last you longer and avoid any cracks or tears on the leather. So my name is George. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next week.